All right, it's Tuesday, November 1st. This is a SPY midday report, just recapping how the market opened and what's developed since, what to look for now. You can see here so far on the daily chart, we opened up near the high of the day and have come straight down ever since. And we have a bit of a red bar forming. It's midday, so we don't know exactly how this is going to end up yet. But here is kind of the scenario. Obviously, on my pre-open video, I came in bullish in terms of talking about how we could be heading up to the 400 area. And the market immediately, at least today, on the very first bar, sold off a little bit, and then it continued lower. So I'm not going to say that's an immediate sell, but certainly there was no buy, to start at that point. At a minimum, you're looking for a red to green move. But as soon as you had the momentum coming down here on bar number 2, which was below the pre-market area and kind of below the halfway, or right at the halfway point of yesterday, then you knew with high probability you were continuing lower to take out the low of this day. And I talked about on the closing video yesterday, the recap video, how when I see inside bars, a lot of times I'm looking for failures more so than follow through. So in this case, price action just led us to that. I wasn't necessarily expecting it or predicting it, but once I saw it come down, at that point, you are dealing with, a downward open that should probably take out the low of yesterday. And now at this point, what you're looking at, you have some key reference points, and I just wanted to point that out, and then I'll kind of follow up at the end of the day where things stand. But the green line here, that's kind of the open of the week. So as long as we stay below, this green line now, the weekly chart currently is red and down, and the bias is down. And on the weekly chart, since we have a down bias here 2 days into the week, what you're looking for now is to see if we can take out the halfway point of the previous week. If we do that, then all of a sudden your expectations start looking for an outside bar to the downside. But until that happens, you're sitting here kind of watching for that, and kind of a scenario, you kind of have to play what if scenarios. So in other words, here I see a first move down on the day. This is the 15-minute chart, little pause, and then an attempt now to go lower. So the question is, if we can't go lower and make a second push down to take out the midpoint of the prior week, then we can begin realizing, we don't really have that much of a down environment in the bigger picture, and we could at some point be reversing to the upside if we come back above this green line. So it's kind of important to say, all right, we're heading down below this green line, everything's bearish. But if we can't, make a second push down and take out the low of the day, if we can't take out the midpoint of the week, which is somewhere down here, 381-ish, I think, all of a sudden be ready tomorrow or maybe even this afternoon for some kind of reversal, and that will get us back in line with the uptrend. But at least for today, you're not expecting that, but this is a key area to watch. Also, we're going to watch this purple line, which is now the open of the month. So in order for, follow through higher into this upper end of the range, at some point, we're going to need price action to get us above the purple line to turn the month green again. And that's, the opening price of today. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And it could be a very simple situation on the monthly chart, where we kind of, we probe we have a 2-up month going so far. We're nowhere near the midpoint of the prior month to signal a potential reversal. So as long as we maybe we're just going to pause in here for a few days or whatever it is, and then eventually have a nice up opening above the pre-market highs, above the midpoint of a prior day sometime later this week, let's say, and then all of a sudden that projects to turn this monthly chart green, and we start working up towards those targets, of 2 months ago, those highs. So that's kind of an area to watch too. But again, it's not so much to wait for that to happen before you buy. We'll watch for buy signals to develop, and then know that it has to kind of push through those areas to confirm things. Same thing on the downside here. We're bearish now, but we know we really have to follow through below the low of today and below the midpoint of the week to confirm this bearishness. But you're going to, be bearish right at this point until things change. So that's kind of where it's at. And if you want to see any trades here to the short side, just know that you have a kind of a tight stop that you don't want to, to go above this green bar, and you want it to follow through lower. If you can't sense it follow through lower as you expect, if this is push 1 and looking for push 2, then just get out of the trade, use risk management, and kind of know what these key levels are and know what to expect. So anyway, we have a down session here. The trade of the day kind of was just once it kind of broke down here to expect a push kind of what you got here on the first move of the day to take out, to go to the opposite end of this, range from yesterday. So you got that on the short side. Now it's just a matter, you're going to get continuation to really set up a chain reaction much lower, or are things going to hold in here and eventually kind of work their way back up above the green and purple bars with various price action that will signal that, the trend is back to the upside, towards some of those targets you were expecting when the day started. So let's see how the day ends, and we'll do a recap at the end of the day.